Success is your birthright.
You are listening into the Bishop of Motivation, Mr. Spence Millison, and Success is Your Birthright, and you can join him each and every weekday right here on 1540 AM, Power 104.5 FM, and of course, the ZNS Television Network for immediate response. The time is now 6:55 a.m.
For 5 wonderful years, we have been a part of your life, connecting, supporting, and believing, and we are grateful for every moment. We'll continue to grow with you, be with you, and support you through it all. This is who we are. A world-class network and superior customer service. And for 5 years, we've delivered on that promise. We are alive.
There has been an overwhelming response to the Pfizer vaccine here in the Bahamas. The first tranche of this vaccine was used quicker than expected. For these reasons, we will reserve the Pfizer vaccines for second doses as of the 18th of October 2021. Don't delay. Get your second shot today. First doses of the Pfizer vaccine will not be issued until further notice. Remember, the Johnson & Johnson vaccines are still available for persons who are waiting to be vaccinated.
This message has been brought to you by the Ministry of Health and this radio station.
You can sit in at your favorite restaurant or try somewhere new. But even in restaurants, you need to take precautions to stop the spread of COVID-19. Keep interactions with people outside your immediate party brief.
This is the ZNS Network, providing radio and high-definition television services for the entire Bahamas. ZNS Network is operated by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas. It is located at Harcourt Rusty Bethel Drive, Centerville, Nassau. Our programming is designed to inform, educate, and entertain. We invite you to join us.
The following is a preamble of the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Whereas 481 years ago, the rediscovery of this family of islands, rocks and keys, heralded the rebirth of the New World. And whereas the people of this family of islands, recognizing that the preservation of their freedom will be guaranteed by a national commitment to self-discipline, industry, loyalty, unity, and an abiding respect for Christian values and the rule of law. Now, know we therefore, we the inheritors of, and successors to this family of islands, recognizing the supremacy of God and believing in the fundamental rights and freedoms of the individual, do hereby proclaim in solemn praise the establishment of a free and democratic sovereign nation, founded on spiritual values, and in which no man, woman, or child shall ever be slave or bondsman to anyone, or their labor exploited, or their lives frustrated by deprivation, and do hereby provide by these articles for the indivisible unity and creation under God of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
It's Thursday, October 21st, 2021, and the morning edition is live. On today's show, health officials in the Barry Islands. We continue to highlight breast cancer awareness. ZNS TV celebrates its 44th anniversary. And something new is brewing in the great outdoors for Bahamian families. So let's start the morning off right. Each day adds up to big results. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the morning edition. I'm LaDawn Davis. Let's take you now out to our streets where Kelsey Johnson and the morning traffic team is standing by with your Thursday morning traffic.
Good morning, LaDawn. Good morning, Bahamas. We're live on Abundant Life Road where a number of traffic infractions actually happen on this particular road, especially in this early morning hours. Now, joining me live this morning is Corporal Patrick Camp, who will tell us about the infractions that a number of drivers commit on this road. Good morning, Corporal Camp.
Good morning, Ms. Johnson, and good morning, Bahamas. And you're absolutely correct. We're in the area of Abundant Life Road. And what you would see to the rear of me are vehicles that are parked on the streets. And they're here to get to purchase some water from a nearby establishment. And what the issue that we find that we have in this area is persons who are parking in the street is an offense. Parking on the sidewalk. We have persons here who are parked on the curve, and it's hindering the flow and or causing obstructions in this area. And what we find that a lot of these drivers, they're here early in the morning, sometimes when it's still dark, and a lot of vehicles that are traveling towards this vehicle are not aware in most cases, and they're forced over into the other driver's lane. This is something that we have a concern of in this area, and we're going to make some adjustments to the obstructions.
All right, now, if an accident was to occur, who is in the wrong?
Well, definitely, the persons who are hindering and or causing obstructions will be the persons responsible for causing accidents. However, it is still incumbent on the drivers who are traveling on the streets to drive with due care and attention. So now we have a serious concern of the battle of who is right or wrong in a case like this. And it can be a long and tedious, inconvenience process to the courts.
Now, if I'm a driver and I'm heading in the eastbound direction and I swerve into the traffic that is coming into the westbound direction, am I wrong because I was trying to avoid the parked car?
You know, and like I said earlier, that's an excellent question, and this is where stuff like this becomes a issue, and now we have to allow the courts to make a decision in reference to that. However, if you swerve from your lane over into oncoming traffic, you can be a person that found at fault for the accident. However, if it is found that because your action is as a result of an infraction, and be able to get the information, if the persons remain on scene, they too can be a part of this investigation or the traffic investigations.
All right, thank you so much, Corporal Camp. Like he said, there are a number of cars that are parked around in this Abundant Life area earlier in the morning that commit a number of traffic infractions. We'll toss it back to you in the studio, LaDawn.
And staying on the outside, weather variably cloudy, warm and breezy with widely scattered showers and the chance of an isolated thunderstorm, mainly in the central and southeast Bahamas. In the general situation, a frontal trough meandering across the Bahamas will continue to produce pockets of showers through tonight. Meanwhile, high pressure centered north of the area will sustain moderate to locally fresh winds. High temperature today is 86 degrees with an overnight low of 70 degrees. As of Wednesday, Minister of Health and Wellness, the Honorable Dr. Michael Darville, confirming that health officials are aggressively addressing challenges on the Barry Islands, as there are currently a number of residents in quarantine in the settlement of Bullocks Harbor. Officials are also continuing to monitor a number of active cases of the COVID-19 virus.
Initially, there was 11 cases. Over the last 2 to 3 days, 6 have actually come out of isolation. And we have, at present now, as a result of some suspicious cases, we have about 23 people in quarantine. The doctor is comfortable. We have sent additional officers here to make sure that the public health care measures are in place. And our next step is basically, like what we did in Inagua, to basically send a team in here that is affiliated with the private sector to do some screen testing to ensure that our cluster is intact and to assure the residents of Bullet Harbor that we are serious about COVID and we are serious about controlling any potential outbreak.
The government launched its free COVID-19 testing program in Inagua on Wednesday to combat the spread of COVID-19 across this country. Inagua was selected as the launch site because of a recent outbreak of the virus after the election campaign, which sadly resulted in the deaths of several residents. In line with its COVID-19 action plan, the government also provided residents with medical-grade masks free of charge. Officials were expected to have tested more than 100 residents. 44 new cases of the COVID-19 virus being reported in the Ministry of Health's latest release, 18 here in New Providence, 13 over in Eleuthera, 4 each in Acklins and Grand Bahama, and 1 apiece in Abaco, in Nagua, Andros, and Cat Island. With the location of another pending, there's a decrease in hospitalizations. At last count, that number stood at 109, 15 of those in the intensive care unit. An additional 52 people have recovered from COVID-19. That total is now up to 20,117. 1,167 cases remain active. Education officials continue to work closely with their colleagues over in the Ministry of Health to determine when public schools will reopen. Minister of State for Education, the Honorable Zane Lightbourne, expressing optimism that this can happen before year's end.
I know that the parents of those children are very concerned because face-to-face is our go-to. That is the way that we can capture all of the students that we know have been missing in the system for the last 2 years, year and a half. And so we want to really get this going as soon as possible, but we want it to be safe. Safety first.
Minister of Transport and Housing, the Honorable JoBeth Colby Davis, calling the former government's proposed Prospect Ridge housing development nothing more than a pie-in-the-sky dream. Having done her due diligence since the taking office of a month ago, Minister Colby Davis says little, if anything, was done to advance this housing project.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of groundwork that must be done that has yet to be started as it pertains to that project. Work related to a master plan. I've spoken to the company that was previously engaged by the former administration, and absolutely nothing has been done yet. In fact, they got a letter advising them that they were awarded this project probably about 2 or 3 days before the election.
Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis is in Washington, D.C. for the 10th anniversary celebration of the opening of the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial. On Wednesday, the Prime Minister met with Chairman and President of the Martin Luther King Monument Memorial, Harry Johnson Sr. Prime Minister Davis also addressed the National Board of Directors of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, the first Black Greek letter fraternity of which Martin Luther King Jr. was a member. Now, during the anniversary gala last evening, the Prime Minister presented a gift to the foundation on behalf of the Bahamas. Meantime, former Senator and veteran trade unionist Keith Archer's body lied in state in the foyer of the Senate building on Wednesday. Archer died on Saturday, September 25th at the age of 76. Among those paying their respects were the Governor General, His Excellency Sir Cornelius Smith, Deputy Prime Minister the Honorable Chester Cooper, Minister of Foreign Affairs the Honorable Frederick Mitchell, and former Prime Minister the Right Honorable Hubert Ingram.
This was a trade union leader. I mean, he was really powerful. And of course, I remember there was a huge strike against what was then called Batelco, which actually resulted in the security intelligence and the police apparatus having to go in with the riot squad and take people out physically from in and around the plant. So there's this iconic photograph, I think it's still in the newspaper, of him being carried out by police officers physically. And I said, boy, this is a really powerful fellow. And from that, he morphed into a national statesman, served in the Senate, and became a negotiator for labor on behalf of the government.
He was very reliable, looked after the interests of his members. He was a good friend of mine, and he made a good contribution to the Bahamas. He suffered in recent times because of ill health, and he's now at peace.
Everything is changing, and your favorite hardware and home improvement store is getting with the program. We Buy You Sell is rolling out its new online shopping feature. If you go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, it's a quick and easy 3-step process. Step 1, browse the gallery and select your item. Step 2, add to cart. And Step 3, check out. Go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, to shop with us today.
That's why we got the
outbreak attached to a popular vegetable has made more than 650 people in the United States of America sick. The U.S. Center for Disease Control has confirmed that the red, white, and yellow onions imported from Mexico is the cause of the Salmonella outbreak. The onions distributed by ProSource Incorporated were imported on September 1st, and it has yet to be confirmed if any of the infected onions are here in the Bahamas. As we continue our series on breast cancer awareness, we talk to a women's physician who says it's not a death sentence. Here's Jamila Mizik.
It is one of the most common cancers worldwide and the leading cause of cancer deaths in Bahamian women. Breast cancer can affect women at any age. However, consultant gynecologist Dr. Shamanique Bodie-Williams notes that the most common age group affected are women 60 years and older.
As we get older, we do have an increased risk of breast cancer, but we also have early breast cancer disease, which is found in ladies that are under 45 as well.
Risk factors include obesity, alcohol consumption, poor diet, and genetic history. Dr. Bodie-Williams notes that Black women tend to get breast cancer at a younger age, and it is usually more aggressive.
Depending on where the bad cells start from, that will determine what type of cancer that a lady has. And more commonly for ladies, it will usually start in either the lobules or the ducts. And so the signs and symptoms of the breast cancer would be if you feel any lumps or bumps in the breasts that are new, if you see any changes in the area that's around the breast, which is the colored area, the areola, or in the nipple. So sometimes ladies may have discharges coming from the nipple, and it can have a blood color to it. It could be clear, sometimes it could be white. In addition, that you see any changes in the color of the skin around the breast, that also is an indication that you should definitely see and discuss with your healthcare provider.
She says self-examinations are also important.
Definitely your annual maintenance would be once a year, and so that you would see your provider and they would do the exam. But I encourage my ladies to become familiar with your breast once a month, because your breast will change throughout the month. And I feel like if you get more familiar with it, if there's something different, that you would then be more likely to bring it to the attention of a healthcare provider who may see you once a year. And then once you see your healthcare provider, they will make a recommendation about your screening depending on what they think your risk factors are. And that screening, they may recommend it to start at 40, or they may recommend it to start earlier depending on your risks, and they may recommend it to be every year or every other year.
Now, the risk for breast cancer is about 1 in 8 women. In the Bahamas, there is a higher incidence of cases that are genetically related.
As we increase the awareness, it's empowering more women, and so as we become more breast aware, that we're getting to know the symptoms, you're getting to know yourself, and you're getting to know what questions to ask and keep up with your maintenance, it is definitely helping. And then we are improving survival, and we're making strides. So our 5-year survival rate is over 90%, and I think it'll continue to improve as we're able to detect cases earlier, have more frank conversations about this topic, and we're able to take charge of our own health.
The Blue app that connects millions of people around the globe, including us here in the Bahamas, will have a new look. Popular social media giant Facebook is in the rebranding phase and plans to announce the company's new name sometime next week. Sources say the decision to head into a new direction was based mainly on the tech giants wanting to be known for more than just social media. Facebook owns two other Bahamian favorites, Instagram and WhatsApp, and a name change could position the three mega platforms under an umbrella brand similar to the structure used by Google, which sits under parent company Alphabet. To inform, educate, and entertain, that was the mandate of ZNS back in 1977, and more than 40 years later, its primary goal is to push the envelope even further and remain a leader on the local television scene. On Wednesday, with safety protocols in place, a small celebration was held on the grounds of the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas to mark the 44th anniversary of ZNS Television. Here's Mukesh Lapinder.
In these days and times, reaching 44 years is quite a feat for a television station that's some real staying power, and ZNS stands as a living testament. You see, for 4+ decades, it's been setting the pace, reason enough to celebrate. Bringing brief remarks at a cake-cutting ceremony at our studios Wednesday was State Minister, the Honourable Miles Laroda, who has cabinet responsibility for the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, or as he deemed it, an icon. He added, though, that ZNS is only as good as its employees.
And you should be proud of your accomplishment. All of those who would have passed through here, you stand on the shoulders of others, but yet you still carry on. And yes, we speak of those who have been before. Some have gone on to their earthly rewards or heavenly rewards, but we still have enough at ZNS to be a major player when it comes to broadcasting. And, you know, opposition politics you'll always criticize, sometimes the government criticize. But the mere fact that ZNS is able to stimulate such conversation means that it's very relevant in these times. And I think that you should commend yourselves for the work that you do, and to be encouraged.
The minister's sentiments shared by the corporation's general manager, Kaylisa DeVoe Isaacs, who stressed that while the corporation sometimes falls short of the standards set by those who went before, every day is an opportunity to live up to the legacy.
Every day we come to ZNS, we should make sure that we understand what our duty is, what it is that we must achieve, and when we fall short, we apologize and we dust ourselves off and we try again.
And while ZNS has had a core group of older viewers for decades, the general manager accepts that the corporation must find ways of attracting the young. In turn, she asked this of the new minister.
I'd like to say that we also need a friend in that some of the legacy that we can't seem to shake at times, that you can help us to get past some of those so that we can fulfill completely the mandate of this place and this institution. So we look forward to hearing from you and the new government some of the policies that you plan to enact so that we could make sure that we are doing those things.
And as we head to the break, we take a look back at today in Bahamian history. On October 21st, 1938, Canadian Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Mackenzie King, paid a one-day visit to Nassau. Also on October 21st, 1964, Durwood Knowles and Cecil Cook won gold in star-class sailing at the Tokyo Olympics. It was the colony's first Olympic gold medal.
During this pandemic, it is our duty to ensure that all citizens, residents, and visitors are adhering to the COVID-19 safety protocol. Restaurants may operate utilizing curbside pickup, drive-thru, takeaway, or delivery. Any establishment who allows the entry of any person not wearing a mask is liable upon a summary conviction to a fine of $500. I am Ambassador Ashanti Ruko of the COVID-19 Enforcement Unit. Save a life that may be your own.
This message brought to you by the Ministry of National Security in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ferguson. During this global pandemic, we ask for you to be responsible. As we fight this COVID-19 virus together, we would like to encourage you to do the following. Wash your hands. Cover your mouth and nose with a flexed elbow or tissue when coughing and sneezing. Please practice social distancing by staying 6 feet apart. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. If you must go out, wear a mask. We stay here for you. Please stay home for us. To those who are on the front line, we salute you as we continue this fight together.
This message has been brought to you by the Ministry of Health in conjunction with GD Media Solutions and this television station.
Andros is the #1 bone fishing destination on our planet. Sports fishermen visit our flats every year to participate in one of the most fulfilling outdoor activities known to man, fly fishing. And guess what? It's 100% sustainable. Without areas like the west side of Andros, sustaining this industry would be absolutely impossible. So let's take care of nature, and nature will take care of us.
Well, Team Bahamas leaves today for the Caribbean Junior Cycling Championship in the Dominican Republic. Jonathan Benson speaks with the coach and team members.
Struggling without a facility to call home, the Bahamas Cycling Federation has adopted one of the parking lots at the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium as its home base. It's there where Felix Neely and Byron Musgrove Jr. have been putting in the time as they get ready to face off with the top juniors in the region.
I'm going to try to stay focused and stay with the lead pack. And my main focus is to capture gold in the time trial on the road race.
Really want to gain the experience, because I've been training since July.
Traveling with the two-member team will be coach Byron Turo Musgrove.
Byron Musgrove will be riding in the juvenile category, which is 15 to 16, and Felix will be riding the junior category, which is 17 to 18. Felix is the more experienced cyclist out of the two, and we expect Felix to do very well and be extremely competitive. We're looking for Byron. This is his first international cycling event, so we're looking for him to be competitive and do his best. We've been training for the last 3 to 4 months.
So far, 12 countries have confirmed their participation.
It's about 25 cyclists in each of their category. Well, we anticipate some more countries to register, so we're looking for the event to be well attended.
With the event serving as a qualifier for the Junior Pan Am Games and Junior Commonwealth Games, Neely believes he has a good chance to move on after being afforded the opportunity to train in Colombia.
That was so intense, very hard. The first month of me climbing, I was climbing about going 2 miles per hour up Medellin, Bogota, but after a month go by, I was climbing at 70, 80 miles per hour at Las Palmas, the highest mountain in Colombia.
Good luck to Team Bahamas.
After being postponed earlier this year due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the Don't Blink Home Run Derby in Paradise is back. Organizers Todd Isaacs Jr. and Lucius Fox are happy to be back in business.
Our goal of the Home Run Derby was to always use this as a platform to highlight, our Bahamian baseball players, our Bahamian athletes, and just, show what the Bahamas consist of. Our natural beauty, the beaches. We have the best beaches in the world, and being a baseball player, we wanted to really bring the two elements together. The most exciting part of the game, the home run, and then the most beautiful part of us being from the Bahamas.
This is the Don't Blink Home Run Derby in Paradise, my people. It will be held on December 18th, Saturday. We thank you to Atlantis, for partnering with us. We're able to add 2 additional days to our festivities, our party week. And we're gonna title it Players in Paradise. So it's gonna be really cool. December 14th to the December 19th are the dates. We're excited for this. Players will arrive December 14th, settle in, and then that's a Tuesday. Wednesday, we will have our first golf tournament.
The Atlantis Resort has supported the Derby for the past 4 editions, and they're on board once again.
We're going to take a bigger role in it, but this is why we're doing it.
If you listen to their energy, their commitment to the sport and what they're trying to accomplish and their own accomplishments, it's on them that make it much easier for us to partner with them. Then, of course, I'm not a baseball guy, but hitting a ball in an ocean, I went, who does that? And they're onto something. And another reason why the partnership made a lot of sense to us. Then, of course, I think it's probably now one of the largest growing Bahamian initiative of sport. So with that, that's another reason why it makes a lot of sense for us to be a part of this.
And after the break, we're going camping on the outdoors, so keep it locked.
As an artist, I travel all over the world, and I find inspiration all around me. From the people, and especially the environment. I love the Bahamas with all its natural beauty. From Abaco in the north to Inagua in the south, and all the wonderful and colorful islands in between. But we must all do our part to keep the Bahamas healthy and clean, now and for the future generations. That's why I want you to find a little time to do your part. I'm doing my part because I care. Do you?
Hey, have you heard? ZNS is everywhere you are when you download the new ZNS app. Whether you're on the move or just kicking back. Miss something on the news? It's there. Want to keep up with a live update? It's there. Or just want to listen to your favorite station? It's there too. Download the app now from the App Store and Google Play Store.
There's a spark of greatness in each of us. That spark is called personality. Individual gifts and talents provide the fuel to set that spark ablaze. Each child has the right to an education which values their personality and nurtures their talents, while teaching them to be respectful to their parents and their cultures.
Do you know that adherence is more than taking medications? It calls to you to stick to the medical regimen as prescribed by your healthcare provider. Please keep your lab appointments, as these determine the effects medications are having on your body. Follow-up doctor's appointments are necessary, as this is the time when the doctor performs a physical examination and discusses any test results and any concerns or issues you may have with your course of treatment. Sticking to prescribed diet and exercise regimens can improve medication effectiveness and contributes to overall health and well-being. Make a commitment today to be adherent to your medication regimen and practice healthy living.
This message has been brought to you by the Bahamas AIDS Foundation with funding provided by PEPFAR, USAID Local Capacity Initiative Small Grant.
Adventure lovers, listen up. There's a new camping experience in town that allows guests to reconnect with nature. It's called Island Adventure Experiences. Joining us live on the Morning Edition to tell us more about the camping outdoors is founders Beijing Rogers and Xavier Knowles. Lady, gent, welcome to the Morning Edition.
Thank you.
Thank you. So let's get right into it. So Beijing, talk us a little bit about Island Experience and where did the idea come from?
Yes, so Island Adventure Experiences is the most exciting thing happening in the Bahamas today, where we curate camping experiences overnight on Rose Island. We also have a scavenger hunt called the Island Hunt, which is very exciting as well. And we just can't wait for all of Bahamians to come on board and just live their outdoorsy life. So it all began with Xavier, my partner, when he did GGYA, and he just fell in love with the outdoors, camping, fishing, hiking, and it all started for me when I lived abroad in South America, and I was privy to so many outdoors opportunities, such as hiking, volcano climbing, surfing, skiing, the works. And so we joined forces and we created the adventure of a lifetime.
And Xavier, I guess you could talk to me about some of the locations and what equipment is being used to go camping.
So currently our location is on Rose Island. However, we're looking at expanding in the Family Islands because we want to bring this experience to take it across the country and allow people to experience other sites across the country. And our equipment is simple camping tents. We also have various amenities, like we have a shower stall, we have portable toilets, we have bedding in the tents, we have solar-powered fans, and we have kayaks, snorkeling gear, and so much more for people to take advantage of.
And the location sites, where have you guys visited already to go camping?
So currently our only site right now is our Rose Island site. We are located on the northeastern side of Rose Island, where you can get the best sunsets and the best moon viewings in the night, where we sit around the campfire and we are able to gaze at the stars. It's a beautiful campsite, and we hope that people can come and enjoy it.
And are you guys hoping to expand in the future?
Yes, oh, of course we are. So right now, as we've mentioned, we are located on Rose Island, but we do plan to expand to the Family Islands. So Family Islands, we're coming for you. Get your camping gear, because we want you guys to experience the adventure of a lifetime. You know, the Bahamas is a beautiful place, and we are in the industry of adventure tourism, and so we're just trying to take that to the next step and to the next level. And I think with our camping experience, we do just that.
Beijing, Xavier, thank you guys so much for joining us here on the Morning Edition, and all the best to you and your team.
Thank you.
And be sure to stay tuned to the ZNS Network for news as it happens, TV and radio updates throughout the day. Then you can tune into the Northern Edition at 6:30 and the Bahamas Tonight at 7. And that's a wrap for us this morning. For the entire team, I'm LaDawn Davis. Make it a great day, everyone.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Fatima Aitel Hussein lives in a remote village in Morocco's Atlas Mountains. Not long ago, the only jobs women here could do were household chores and helping the men in the field. They couldn't travel anywhere on their own or manage their own money. But now Fatima says all that has changed.
تمشي المرأة للسوق تشري لولادها باش يعيدوا إلا مرضوا تمشي تشري لهم الدواء تشري لهم الشكارة ديال المدرسة والحمد لله المرأة راه ما تتسول الراجل تقول لي اعطيني ولا باش نمشي للسوق نشري كلشي موفرة عندها.
It all started with a simple idea: provide women with the means to start their own businesses. So in 2006, the government of Morocco and the UN's International Fund for Agricultural Development, IFAD, set up a microfinance service, part of the rural development project in the mountain zones of Al Haus, where women were able to borrow enough money to each buy 2 sheep. The women joined together to form a cooperative so that they could consolidate their resources and manage their sheep business together. They sold some of their sheep during Eid al-Adha, the main religious festival, and used the wool to produce Berber carpets, which are sold as far away as Marrakesh. In just 8 years, the number of sheep has grown tenfold, and the women's new earning power, combined with other project-related activities, contributed to a 60% increase in household income. Fatima's husband, Hussein Ait Mansour, is very pleased with his wife's new role in the family, and like the other men in this town, he now accepts her as an equal.
كي كان إلا خاصها الذبيحة خصو ماشي يسلف ويدير الكريدي دروك لا كاع الناس اللي في الجمعية راه عندهم ديالهم وعندهم بهيمهم وما خصو خير.
Najia Al-Karwate is also part of the cooperative. She says that working together is the key to their success.
المهم ناشطين والتضامن ديال العيالات حيت مندمجين وفرحانين والمهم ناشطين وعندهم الرغبة باش يبغاو هما داك المشروع داكشي علاش نجح المشروع حيت إلا عندك الرغبة راه بغيت تنجح المشروع إلا ما عندك الرغبة ما عندك سوق راه المشروع مشى.
These women have no intention of turning back. In fact, they're working to take their business a step further. With the income from their sheep, they bought beehives and olive trees. Najia was trained how to produce honey and olive oil and then taught the others to do the same, selling their products in the market. Now they're ready for what might be the most significant step yet. In a few weeks' time, they will start literacy classes, not just to help them further their business goals, but to pave the way, they say, for all women in the region who want to take charge of their own destinies. This project is a successful example of how economic development can bring gender equality to communities made up of women like Fatima. This report was produced by Sam Cole for the United Nations.
Do you know that adherence is more than taking medications? It calls to you to stick to the medical regimen as prescribed by your healthcare provider. Please keep your lab appointments, as these determine the effects medications are having on your body. Follow-up doctor's appointments are necessary, as this is the time when the doctor performs a physical examination and discusses any test results and any concerns or issues you may have with your course of treatment. Sticking to prescribed diet and exercise regimens can improve medication effectiveness and contributes to overall health and well-being. Make a commitment today to be adherent to your medication regimen and practice healthy living.
This message has been brought to you by the Bahamas AIDS Foundation with funding provided by PEPFAR, USAID Local Capacity Initiative Small Grant.
In China's Guangdong province, recycling electronic waste, or e-waste, is a multi-million-dollar business. Some 80% of the people who live in the city of Guiyu earn a living by ripping apart old electronics, especially mobile phones and computers, and salvaging valuable components to sell on the lucrative e-waste black market. But the communication revolution brought about by these high-tech products also has a darker side.
You know, we should really be mindful of nowadays, people get rid of their old phones all the time.
Kaiser Kuo is a director with Baidu, China's largest internet search engine company.
Sometimes they end up in cities in coastal China where dismantled in very, very unhealthy and unsafe ways that expose not only the people doing the disassembly to toxins, to dangerous chemicals, but also pollute the air and the groundwater.
Exposure to carcinogens, toxic fumes, and contaminated soil can be deadly, experts say. But e-waste isn't only a problem in China. West Africa has become a dumping ground for obsolete electronics from other parts of the world. According to a United Nations report, China and the United States produce 1/3 of the planet's e-waste. To address this dilemma, Baidu has come up with an innovation that could help reduce the improper disposal of electronic waste in China. It's a web-based app called Recycling Station, developed in partnership with the United Nations Development Program, UNDP. But how exactly does it work?
We type in the @ sign. And it gives me a choice of different electronic products that I might want to recycle. Let's say I decide to recycle this refrigerator here, this old refrigerator. All I need to do is pick the size of the refrigerator, the date that I'd like it to be picked up, and then to take a photo of it. And now I select simply the place where I am and one of the companies that will come and pick it up.
Agi Verez is country director at UNDP in Beijing.
This is very new, but we already see the success in this. Within 2 months, about 11,000 devices got recycled.
The app was tested at TCL in Tianjin City, one of the largest manufacturers of electronics, as well as a leading recycling company in the north of China. Demi Wong is assistant manager at TCL, and she says her company plans to recycle 100,000 tons of e-waste each year.
我们双方有共同的目标，就是建立绿色的废旧家电回收体系，就是我们有比较完善的环保设施，能够确保这些废电器在处理过程中不对环境造成污染。
Aware of the dangers of toxic materials present in old appliances and electronics, workers use a special machine to process cathode ray tubes, or CRTs, from archaic television units.
把报废的这些废电器我们回收回来，然后进行环保处理。
It's all part of a scheme supported by the government of China to cut the amount of e-waste generated in the country. Unless immediate action is taken, by